Honorable Directors, Mr. Srinivas Rao sir, Mrs. Sirisha Reddy ma'am, Tisha Reddy sir, respected principal, teachers, parents, and all my dear students. A very good morning to you all, and I'm delighted to extend a gracious welcome to all of you. As you all know that today we have gathered here for the event, the Youth Parliament. Let me take this opportunity to explain a little. The Youth Parliament program is designed to make our youngsters participate in a mock parliament as legislators. Youth Parliament has a special importance in developing an insight in the young students. It helps students understand the parliamentary procedure. It's based on creating a unique opportunity for the students to understand the importance of Indian political scenario. So here we have our grade 9th and 10th students of Academic Heights Public School, Beeramguda, for our Youth Parliament of 2020. So friends, this is all from me. Thank you for being patient. I will see you after the program. Till then, enjoy the day. And now I would like to call just the names of the students: Adira, Sukriti, Ashwin, Moktika, Kaumudi, Adityan, Kaushik, Harika, Alvin, Amrita, Omar, Sukriti, Jaswita, Mokshita, Adira, Kutuviti Karthik, Muskan, Devishri, Kaushik, Malika, Manasvi, Vaishnavi, Neha, Sarvagna, Ashwin, Panduranga, Chavi, Alf, Bhavagna, Sumit, and Devender. Children, you can all carry on. Thank you so much.
Honorable Speaker Ma'am is arriving. Honorable Speaker Ma'am is arriving. Honorable Speaker Ma'am is arriving.
Good morning, gathering. Let's begin the national anthem.
जनगण नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे ताहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Dear gathering, today's first item in the list of business is affirmation. May I request the General Secretary, please?
Now we have Miss Sarvagna representing state Haryana. Which language would you like to speak in?
I, Sarvagna, representing the state Haryana, having been elected as a member of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of Constitution that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, as by the law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Miss Harika representing state Uttar Pradesh. Which language would you like to speak in?
In English, please. I, Harika, having been elected a member of the Youth Parliament, do swear of Constitution that I will bear true faith and allegiance. I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge my duties upon which I am about to enter.
Miss Sukruti representing state Rajasthan. Which language would you like to speak in?
English, please. I, Sukriti, representing state Rajasthan, having been elected as a member of Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of Constitution that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, as by the law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Master Adityan, representing state Assam, which language would you like to speak in?
English, please. I, Adityan, representing Assam constituency, having been elected as a member of Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of Constitution that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by the law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge my duties upon which I am about to enter. Thank you.
Miss Amrita, representing state Madhya Pradesh, which language would you like to speak in?
English, please. I, Amrita, representing the state Madhya Pradesh, have been elected as the member of Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of Constitution that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by the law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Miss Mokshita, representing state Jharkhand, which language would you like to speak in?
English, please. Thank you. I, Mokshita, representing Jharkhand, having been elected as a member of Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of Constitution that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by the law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Miss Mauktika, representing state Andhra Pradesh, which language would you like to speak in?
English, please. I, Moktika, representing the state Andhra Pradesh, having been elected as a member of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of Constitution that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by the law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Miss Vaishnavi, representing state Karnataka, which language would you like to speak in?
English, please. I, Vaishnavi, representing the state Karnataka, having been elected as the member of Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I will uphold the duties which I am about to enter.
Miss Sri Vallika, representing state Telangana, which language would you like to speak in?
English, please. Shivalika of Telangana constituency have been elected as the member of do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by the law established, and that I will sovereignty and integrity and of India, that I will faithfully discharge my duties upon which I am about to enter.
That's all.
Now, let's commence the question hour.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I would like to address the Minister of Social Justice, Ms. Sukriti. Political parties in Bihar have been unanimous in demanding a CBI probe into the death of a Bollywood actor. Mumbai police are placing obstructions in the way of fair investigation by the Bihar police. Madam, would I be wrong when I state that the investigation is being influenced by a body? It is rather obvious that the government is aware of the happenings. Then why is it quiet? Would I be wrong if I rephrase my accusation, stating that the government is influencing the investigation? Respected Madam, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister wrote a letter on October 6 to the Chief Justice of India containing allegations against a sitting Supreme Court judge. Is it right for the government to influence or interfere into matters like this? Would I be at fault when I say that the government is showing personal grudge? Respected Madam, what respect should the citizens give when the government itself is talking ill about the judiciary system? Respected Madam, are these not enough for me to strongly state that the governments are interfering and influencing the courts? Is this not enough for me to deny the fact that in India the judiciary is independent? Respected Madam Speaker, I would like the Minister of Social Justice to inform the sessions the actions they have taken against these scenarios.
Respected Madam, I would like to answer the respected opposition minister by making these following statements. In exercise of the powers conferred by Section 6 of the Delhi Police Establishment Act, the government of Maharashtra withdraws the consent accorded to the members of Delhi Special Police Establishment by government order. In this case, the Mumbai police had not registered an FIR, as its investigation did not point to foul play but a case of suicide. General consent is given by the state so that the CBI can seamlessly conduct its investigation and not seek the government not for every case. The judiciary is inherently transparent in dispensing with justice. From the stage of filing the first information report until the time of judgment, the entire judicial process happens in public domain in full public glare. Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to post my question to our respected Minister of Defense. The COVID 19 has disturbed the whole world. How badly did it affect our military, and what has the government done against it? The Defense Minister has stated that various measures put in place by them to prevent coronavirus infection among the forces and the assistance extended to the local civilian administration to deal with the pandemic. These include issue of standard operating procedure on COVID-19, introduction of appropriate modifications in protocols and drills as per the advisories issued by the Ministry of Health and other agencies, and taking care of the ex-servicemen and their families residing in their respective command areas. It said the armed forces also expressed readiness to pitch in to maintain essential services locally if requested by civilian administrations. If this is so, then why have 32 deaths been reported due to COVID 19 while the number of casualties in the Air Force was 3? Also, 16,758 cases were reported in the Army, 1,365 in the Navy, and 1,716 in the Air Force. Respected Speaker, I have just shown evidence against the statement of our respected Defense Minister, and this ultimately proves that the government has not taken or implemented proper measures and has not provided complete facilities to the forces. Respected Speaker, I would want to know if the Minister would be able to justify the causes due to which the above incidents has taken place.
Good morning and thank you, respected Speaker ma'am, for this opportunity. I would like to justify the question put by my opposition member. As the pandemic broke in India, all the non-essential trainings, joins, conferences, travels, postings, and extended the leave for the army personnel and cancelled the leave for the parliamentary personnel. This could rapidly disrupt a significant portion of everyday military activities. Indian Army, Air Force, and Navy have been issued a notice to remain until further instructions. The three services have set up quarantine centers at multiple locations. All the studies for abroad and project related tours are put off unless extreme necessaries. Indian Army personnel abroad have been advised to follow the policies laid by the Indian embassies. Indian Army Force have been playing a accommodating role in assessing the government by acting as a further line workers. They have contributed quarantine and wellness centers. They have also contributed to set up quarantine centers and hospitals at units and other locations too. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Madam Speaker, with your permission, I would like to ask the Minister of Home Affairs, Master Adityan, on the topic of women security. There have been a lot of cases in India relating to human trafficking. The latest update by NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau, states that 105 women go missing every day and 17 get trafficked every week in Maharashtra. Nationally, the state holds the records of human trafficking and missing women cases, followed by Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal. The state was not even in top 10 records of missing children in 2018, but now the state is in the fourth position with 4,562 registered children missing. Out of them, 55% were girls. Respected Madam, with all my evidence in order, I can strongly say that there has been a serious lack of targeting correct initiatives. I would like to know what has the Government of India initiated in order to prevent such rises in human trafficking? Can the government overcome this present situation of women's security? If so, what could be the strategy used? Are there any initiatives that have been implemented so well in the past that have been helping women to be feeling secure in the society till now?
Honorable Madam Speaker, my answer to the respected opposition member is that with a view to tackle the menace of human trafficking, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India has undertaken a number of measures that are administrative measures and interventions. The first comes the anti-trafficking cell. The anti-trafficking nodal cell was set up in the Ministry of Home Affairs, MHA, that is the CS division, in 2006 to act as a focal point for communicating various decisions and to combat the crime of human trafficking. And the MHA also conducts the coordination meetings with the nodal officers of anti-human trafficking units nominated in all the states and UTs periodically. And next comes the Ministry of Home Affairs scheme. The Ministry of Home Affairs, under a comprehensive scheme strengthening the law enforcement's response in India against trafficking in person through training and capacity building, has released funds for establishment of anti-human trafficking units for more than 270 districts across the country. And next comes the strengthening and the capacity building. To enhance the capacity building of law enforcement agencies and to generate awareness among them, various training of trainers TOT workshops have been introduced on combating trafficking of human beings for police officers and for prosecutors at regional level, state level, district level, and throughout the country. And next comes the judicial colloquium. In order to train and sensitize the trial court judicial officers, judicial colloquium on human trafficking are held at the High Court level. And the aim is to sensitize the judicial officers about the various issues concerning human trafficking and to ensure speedy court process, that is the fast track courts. And so far, as 11 judicial colloquium have been held at Chandigarh, Delhi, Himachal Pradesh, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. And not only that, MHA also engaged CDAC as total service provider TSP to develop and deploy a contact center solution stack comprising of computer telephone integration CTI and the automatic cell distribution ACD, computer aided dispatch CAD, and case record management CRM. And additionally, CDAC has developed a 112 SOS mobile app providing features like continuous sending of distress signals with location data to trace a moving person, and the shout facility to volunteers and the request backend software. And the MHA also released the first installment of 733.92 crores for Safe City projects to the states and union territories in the current financial year between 2018 to 2019. And as part of Nirbhaya Fund scheme, the MHA also approved the project for strengthening DNA analysis and cyber forensics and related facilities in 13 states as a total cost of 131.09 crores in phase 1 of the project. And the states have been prioritized on the basis of the pendency cases. And thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker, for giving this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. So firstly, I would like to ask our respected Health Minister. The Health Minister said that currently 843 exclusively dedicated COVID-19 hospitals are there for the treatment, which have about 1,65,991 beds. Across the country, there are 1,991 dedicated COVID-19 health centers, which have 1,35,643 beds. They have include isolation as well as ICU beds, which is all good. But there are many issues the citizens are facing, especially in the quarantine. So the health minister, he also stated that there are 7,645 quarantine centers across the country. But a COVID-19 recovered patient has on social media posted that, quote unquote, we are more than 40 people with only 3 washrooms and 5 large bedrooms. They want us to stay sanitized, and this is what they give us. And this is a major concern. This way, India cannot contain coronavirus. Only will get more cases. The facility was depleted with almost no testing equipment and a pantry overflowing with water. They alleged. Also, the passengers did not receive food or water for 6 hours. Some have alleged requesting anonymity. I hereby request the health minister to improvise and provide proper facilities to the citizens. Thank you, respected Speaker, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My answer is to the respected opposition member. I do agree about the shortage of the beds. From the starting of COVID-19, government is focusing on the hospital beds by using the data from the National Health Profile 2019 to 2020. 7,13,986 are the total government beds located in India. which amounts to 0.55% of beds per thousand population. The elderly population, which is about 60 aged and above, have many complications, which amounts to 5.18 bed per thousand population. And now, coming towards the quarantine facilities, one, the person, let it be from a newborn baby to an elderly child, has to wear face cover and face mask for sure. And frequently washing of hands with sanitizers or soap is required. Whenever feasible, strict respiratory system is available. And coming to the quarantine rooms, they are well sanitized and they are about to fit 5 to 10 large beds. Potable water is given every hour, and the entry and the exit points also have a centric sanitizing points to prevent infections. And the person is given personal toilet kit, blanket, pillow with cover, N95 mask, and a personal PPE kit, which is personal equipment kit. And Madam Speaker, per day more than 2 lakh PPE kits are made. Madam Speaker, with your permission, can I show the evidences to the Parliament?
Yes, please.
Madam Speaker, this is the total PPE kit, which contains 2 N95 masks, a paper disposable bag, a shoe cover, and a whole glasses. This is being approved by the hospital members. This is well sanitized and are approved. This is the quarantine room, which are really to fit more than 5 to 10 large beds. And Madam Speaker, this is a picture in which we all make the PPE kits by our hands. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Respected Madam Speaker, I would like to ask the respected Minister of Information and Broadcasting the following. Miss Amrita, women are the wealth of India and they have contributed in almost every field and made the country feel very proud at every occasion. They are in front, leading the country, making milestones and sources of inspiration for many. However, another reality of Indian society is that there is a systematic discrimination and neglect of women in India, which could be in terms of inadequate nutrition, denial or limited access to education, health, and property rights. Media is the mirror of society, and media reports are a reflection of happenings in the society. Unfortunately, nowadays the media is wavering from its actual role and giving biased information, which makes development of the society more difficult, portraying women as equals in society is a subject that has been given low priority by the Indian media. The Indian media needs to be sensitized to gender issues and now must focus on issues in a decisive way as their role is detrimental for women empowerment in India. How is the ministry trying to resolve these problems?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to answer to this question. The women have been discriminated in the country from time unknown. They have been treated in a very unfair manner. The country has been striving ever since the independence to protect women from discrimination. The Constitution of India plays a pioneer role in protecting the woman from discrimination and ensuring gender justice in the present times. It can be said that the Constitution, being supreme law of land, significantly addresses the question related to women and also responds to the challenges. The whole legal system is to be framed according to the provisions of the Constitution of India. A slew of schemes has been launched in recent years to empower women to be independent in their lives. The government launched the Mahila Shakti Kendra in 2017 to empower rural women with opportunities for skill development, digital literacy, health, and nutrition. The government launched the Working Women Hostels to ensure availability of safe, convenient accommodations for working family, along with daycare facilities for their children, wherever possible in urban, semi-urban, and rural areas. Under this scheme, assistance is provided for construction of new hostels and expansion of existing ones. The Working Women Hostels are available to any woman, and the government launched the Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana in January 2015, which concentrates on helping families financially for their daughters' education and wedding expenses. The government launched the One Stop Center scheme in April 2015, which is a step for offering immediate response, emergency help, medical support, and legal and psychological assistance to affected women and girls even below 18 years of age. The government launched Women Helpline Scheme to provide 24-hour emergency and non-emergency response to women affected by violence, including sexual offenses and harassment, both in public and private sector. The SCEP Safety Training and Evaluation Process scheme was set up to provide skills to women so that they can take up gainful employment. It also provides the right competencies and training for women to become entrepreneurs. Open to every woman above the age of 16, it is run through the grant given to an institution or an organization, including non-governmental organization directly. The assistance under this scheme will be able in any sector for imparting skills related to employability and entrepreneurship, including agriculture, horticulture, food processing, handlooms, tailoring, stitching, embroidery, zari, handcrafts, computer and IT enabled services, along with soft skills and skills for the workplace, such as spoken English, gems and jewelry, travel and tourism, and hospitality. The government seeks to promote equal rights, opportunities, and responsibilities for women. One of the chief aims of its gender equality policy is to strengthen the economic independence of women and raise the percentage of women in employment. This means getting more women into work and making it possible for men and women to share their work and care responsibilities more equitably. India has also ratified various international conventions and human rights instruments committing to secure equal rights to women. Madam Speaker, with your permission, can I show some evidences?
Yes, please.
This is the symbol of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, which means Save the Girl Child, which was launched in 22nd January 2015. This is the image of Women Helpline Scheme, where 24 hours immediate and emergency response of women affected by violence both in private and public spaces. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Respected Speaker Madam, I would like to ask the respected Finance Minister, Ms. Sukriti. There is no doubt that the current pandemic has hit the country's economy very badly. Many have lost their jobs, many have lost their livelihoods. India's GDP contraction was worse than any of the world's biggest economies. So, could the respected Ministry of Finance please answer the following? What steps have been taken by the government for the recovery of financial loss during COVID-19? What effects have happened to the industrialization during COVID-19 and how is it going to recover?
Respected Madam, I would like to answer my fellow opposition minister by making these following statements. The government and RBI are trying to cushion the economy that was slowing even before the coronavirus outbreak. Here's a guide to measures we've announced so far. For banks, cheaper cash. A series of steps announced this year aim to encourage banks to lend. Loan freeze. RBI government has stopped the clock on loan repayments due to 3-week lockdown announced by the Prime Minister. 3. Regularity deferrals. Implementation of stricter regulations have been delayed. Special windows. These include the support for corporate borrowers as well as rural industry. Higher provisions. Banks ordered to maintain higher provisions of 10% on all frozen loans spread over January, March, and April, June quarters, which can be adjusted later against actual slippages. More money. The RBI has been injecting additional liquidity in the banking system to keep down bond yields. States borrowing. State administrations have been permitted to borrow as much as half their annual target for the year starting April 1st whenever they choose. Crops. State agencies will buy more oilseeds and pulses from farmers at government set minimum purchase prices. About the industrialization, disruption in the sector is expected to lead numerous financial disclosure implications. Stakeholders are making it clear that they expect transparency from companies and disclosures about actual and anticipated impacts, and most importantly, the risks and vulnerabilities to business. Steps taken to recover are as follows. Broaden disclosures to go beyond what's required in financial statements. Consider both direct and second-order effects. Transfer disclosures about risks such as how recent events may impact current and future judgments and estimate inherent in financial reporting. Proactively communicate with lenders and other stakeholders preventing surprises and enabling potential rescheduling of debt and alternative financing sources. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this amazing opportunity.
Respected Speaker, Madam, I would like to ask my question to the respected Education Minister. Getting civic support for girl child education initiatives is lacking in our society. The main backward practice is the compromise. A girl child's access to education must be addressed in real time. Madam, I agree that there are schemes the government is implementing, but are they reaching to the citizen properly? The present situation of corruption are evident that there is no proper administration to the schemes. Respected ma'am, there is no right targeting of schemes which would educate her, and a girl child from well-to-do family is enjoying the scheme provision. Could the respected minister please justify my question?
Thank you, respected Madam Speaker. My answer to the opposition minister. We have implemented a number of schemes with the help from the Government of India. We are taking many new initiatives to improve the standard of education being provided in 770 model schools in educationally backward areas. The first phase of construction has already started and we will be commencing the process from the next academic year. We had planned to do this year, but we will take it up in the next year. In the second phase, we are planning to cover about 350 high schools, and we have already completed construction of additional rooms valuing 45 lakhs in almost 1500 high schools. Around 70 to 75 lakhs children in the state are taking midday meals. We have formed committees to visit all the schools to observe the quality and the quantity of food that is being served to the students in the schools. The state has large number of schemes for the female students. There is the Kasturiba Gandhi School scheme that is dedicated to provide better education to girls. The scheme also has provisions for providing hostels. They are called KGBVs or Kasturiba Gandhi Bala Vikas Vidyalayas. Madam Speaker, with your permission, can I present evidence?
Yes, please.
These are the schemes and the children who are having this. There is a scheme Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao, Sukanya Smriti Yojana, Balavika Smriti Yojana, and more. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Respected Madam, thank you for this opportunity. I would like to request the respected Ministry of Development of the Northeastern region. Flooding and subsequent landslides have caused damages to bridges, government buildings, roads, embankments, and schools. Millions of people living in the flooded area rely on crops and livestock to provide for their families. The flooding began just before harvest and has caused destruction to more than 2,67,203 hectares of crops, and more than 45,000 domesticated animals have been forced to flee or abandoned. Assam is home to important wildlife sanctuaries and World Heritage Sites, which have been damaged by the flooding. Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary has India's highest population of rhinoceros, and at the height of the flooding, 90% was impacted by floodwaters. Kaziranga National Park has also been affected with more than 150 wild animals rescued and 125 animals, including 12 rhinoceros, have died. How has the ministry planned to tackle this problem?
Honorable Madam Speaker, the following is the response for the concern raised by the Honorable Opposition Minister. The Centre is going to release rupees 3,46,000 as an initial amount for handling the flood situation in Assam, which has so far affected 56 lakh people in the northeastern state. The scale of devastation caused by the current wave of flood, along with erosion in the state, and the various steps are being taken by the government to manage this situation. To effectively manage the relief and rehabilitation works, assurance is given that rupees 3 lakhs 40, rupees 346 crore will be released immediately by the Ministry of Assam government as the first installment under the flood management program. More proposals for sanctioning under the Disaster Risk Management Fund, which will enable the state government to receive more funds from the center. We are now also taking up over the matter of flood waters from Bhutan inundating large areas in lower Assam every year. The central government will soon hold discussions with the Bhutan government in this regard so that permanent solution can be found. During monsoon, the release of excess water from the dams in Bhutan led to flooding in downstream areas in all the lower Assam districts, especially Barpeta, Nalbari, Kojragar. I'd also like to stress upon the need to adopt latest technologies in flood management and assure help from ministry in finding lasting solutions to problems of flood and erosion in the state. Following are the saddening number of loss of lives due to the natural calamity. 115 people have lost their lives in floods and landslides so far this year. 89 were killed in the flood related incidents and 26 died due to landslides. The flood situation is in Assam deteriorated with two more people lost their lives, even as over 26 people remained affected in 26 districts. Cumulatively, near 56 lakh people have been affected by the deluge across the state this year. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving this opportunity.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I would like to address the Home Minister, Ms. Devishri, to please justify my following statement. With regards to COVID-19, special economic package of 20 lakh crore was figured out. The rupees 20 lakh crore package includes 1.7 lakh crore rupees, which includes free food grains to poor and cash to poor women and elderly. The package will focus on land, labor, liquidity, and loss. But it will cater to various sections, including cottage industries, MSMEs, laborers, middle class, and industries. But why has the government failed to provide any details on how it will be disbursed? Respected Madam, should the government not provide all the details to avoid confusion? As a part of moratorium, nothing has been done for the Dokra loans taken by the women entrepreneurs in rural India. As the interest continues, it impacted women with no sales either due to pandemic. What step is the minister taking to provide relief to them?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My answer is to the question is the mega 20 lakh crore rupees are implemented package announced in the measure to save the lockdown battle economy and focus on the tax breaks for small business as well as the incentives for the domestic manufacturing. The combined package of incentives of works out to the roughly 10% of the GDP. The rupees 20 lakh crore package includes rupees 1.7 lakh crore package for rupees free food grains to poor and cash to poor women and elderly, announced in March, as well as the Reserve Bank's included measure to interest cuts. The package is seen as the government attempts to check the world's fifth largest economy hurtingly towards the first fulfilled contraction in 4 decades. According to the estimates, lockdown may have led to 12.2 crore people losing their job in April and consumer demands evaporating. Most economic activities in the country had come to stand still after the government imposed a 21st day nationwide lockdown, being March 25th, to check the spread of COVID-19. The lockdown has since been extended twice through the May 17th with some relations to allow the reconsumption of economic activities. Proposals such as giving full taxes exemptions to making new investments of minimum threshold in sectors such as medical devices, electronic and capital goods were said to be under consideration of the government. Investments in the infrastructures are made also from first package of. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Respected Madam Speaker, so I would like to ask the Minister of Agriculture and Farming the following. So, firstly, the heavy rains over the past week have damaged crops in over 20 lakh acres in Telangana. So thousands of acres are still underwater, posing a threat to the standing crops. Though the state government has pegged the crop loss at about 13 lakh acres, causing a loss of 2,500 crore, farmers leaders have claimed that the loss could be much more as rainfall was widespread. They estimate that losses could be about 20 lakh acres. Of these, cotton is the worst hit with crop in over 12 lakh acres out of the 60 lakh acres was inundated in the floodwaters. Paddy is reportedly damaged in about 7 lakh acres. This is followed by green gram and Bengal gram in 2 lakh acres. The total loss should be around 5,000 acres. What has the minister done to tackle this problem? Madam, I would like to request the Minister of Agriculture and Farming to answer this statement. And thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity.
Madam Speaker, my answer to the question is, due to COVID pandemic, many people who work in small scale industries to their own villages. So labor availability for farmers is not impacted. The non-availability of labor has hurt operations parts. Some parts of agriculture that have the luxury of developing technology for harvesting like paddy and wheat are isolated since they often do not have they depend on large manual labor. The increasing use of mechanical harvest paddy has helped in present circumstances. From farmers, government took declaration to buy crops on field at the time of harvesting. For this, the farmer should register name in the Gram Panchayat to intimate the authorities to sell their crops. And the government sent 2K small-scale farmers for 3 months of lockdown for their daily needs, buying crops for fair price to make profits for farmers. Speaker for the opportunity.
Respected Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I would like to address our respected Labour and Home Minister, Ms. Vaishnavi. The ministry has stated, underlining that migrant workers were always in the center thought during the lockdown. Said it as an attempt of the government that workers get jobs near their home and help in the development of the villages. Well, if it was so, then how more than 300 migrant workers were died due to the lockdown? Reasons ranging from starvation, suicide, road and rail accidents, police brutalism, and denial of timely medical care. Madam Speaker, I strongly say that government has not provided complete or proper facilities to the laborer, who rather it was the NGOs who have reached out to the migrant workers. Madam Speaker, the nation has already witnessed several dead migrant laborers' deaths and sufferings. I would hereby request the government to act accordingly and taking this opportunity to praise every NGO and common citizen to help the laborer. I would like to hear from the respected Labour and Employment Minister to clarify my statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I would like to answer the questions given by the respected opposition member. The Ministry of Labour and Employment did not have any data of migrant workers who lost their jobs and their lives during COVID-19 lockdown. Lack of job force, migrant laborers returned to their cities and they left in March. The details of the reason to withhold the migrant laborers in the state itself due to corona and non-availability of prompt facility of their shelter and food. Under this act, states should create the database of migrant workers. Since the government has the data of the large number of workers to return to their home states. Yes, more than 300 migrants died because of the immediate emergency called COVID. Due to the lack of proper plan from the government, migrants started moving to their destinations without any source. Thereby, migrants suffered a lot due to the lack of food, transport, health medicines, and etc. In the journey in hot sun, government did arrangements like resting places on highways and shelters for the night stays, good food, milk for children, and even medicines and medical assistance. And when it comes to the post-lockdown 3.0, We accept many of migrants finding many different transport means of transport to reach their destinations. For that, government done arrangements like special trains, buses with a complete health-based facilities. Apart from that, even of a few MLAs went personally to the migrants to give the awareness of the facilities provided by the government in proper way to reach their destinations. Once we came to know migrants from the states like Jharkhand, Tamil Nadu, and Orissa suffering passing on the national highways through walking with their belongings on their shoulders, even women carrying their kids. We immediately took decision and sent police doctors to them and took the test of the COVID. We made many of such migrants to reach their destinations. Doctors done the COVID test and sent the COVID positive patients to the quarantine. Yes, we believe our nation already witnessed several migrant laborers' death and suffering in this pandemic situation. We, the government, takes the opportunity to thank and praise every NGOs of common citizens who have helped the laborers. Madam Speaker, I would like to show some evidences to the Parliament.
Yes, please.
So, Madam Speaker, we were taking the test for the migrant workers of buses and in the railway stations. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, respected Madam Speaker. Ma'am, I would like to put this question on the table of the House. As per the surveys in various villages, the availability of smartphones is between 20 to 60% taken from the Source Times of India survey. Major states do not have a well-defined standard operating procedure on social distancing and various amenities to reopen schools. Major challenges are faced like lack of funds. Students in villages, smaller towns do not have access to online education, nor the parents want to send their children to schools. It is government's responsibility to ensure that each and every child has access to education. Based on the mentioned facts, what are the steps taken by the central government? What are the government plans on electronic devices like the laptops, tabs, and phones, and the broadband connectivity and subsidy for the students? Is it taken to reopen schools at the earliest?
I hope this justifies the question. With the COVID-19 pandemic, it is unlikely to vanish the dangerous soon, and the situation remains grim, keeping all institutions shut. Even if government is keen to reopen the schools with their plans, giving 1 lakh per school for sanitizations, hygiene, and quarantine measures, along with the provisions of measures like safe drinking water, disinfectants, cleaning materials, constitute 25,000 to the 25,000 rupees 1 lakh for schools having children over 1,000. A sum of 1,000 rupees per teacher to encourage parents, bringing awareness among them. The parents are unafraid and not ready to send their children. Therefore, the central government has come up with a new system of online education with the cap and recommends of the number of sessions in a day for students as follows. Pre-primary students, not more than 30-minute session. Class 1 to 8, 2 sessions up to 45 minutes. Class 9 to 12, 4 sessions of 30 to 45 minutes period. Government also proposes to upper primary schools who do not have ICT, information and communication technology, a special budget in the 5-year plan with such devices, TV, cellular phones, laptops, computers, and networks. But government can't have one single solution for all types of schools because challenges affect different sections of people which are socially and economically diverse. So there is an opportunity to reimagine our education system. There are confusions and complications because schools are affiliated to different syllabi such as ICSE, CBSE, etc. Also, problems with low budgeted schools. The government, however, is confident about teaching children access to radio, TV programs, which were hit head to in practice and integrating digital and non-digital methods, were depending on the group. The focus is also on teachers for use of technology, creating videos, but in order to reduce the burden on the teachers also, the community-based organizations are arranging involving young people to bring the community together. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you, respected Speaker Ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to speak. My question goes to the Minister of Information and Broadcasting. In a democratic country like India, freedom of speech, which is considered as the mother of all other liberties, is one of the basic constitutional rights given to every citizen of India. The main medium that plays a vital role in expressing their views is the media. Ma'am, we have more than usually been relying on the media for news and information to help us understand and to evaluate the responses of our governments and the global community. So, it is crucially necessary to give the freedom to the media so they could provide the accurate responses of the government to us. But, ma'am, is this happening in our country, or is the freedom of media shrinking? The government is increasingly infringing on the rights of the media with sedition laws and threatening pressure and violence against those reporters who do not follow their orders. Taking the recent case of the sudden arrest and alleged assault of Arnab Goswami by the Raigad police into consideration, it has brought to the forefront concerns about India's long cherished freedom of speech and expression and whether it is losing its pride of place in the constitution. Reporters who were trying to cover the event, they were forcefully stopped by the Raigad police, and Mr. Goswami was denied access to his legal team by the government. Journalist groups say that due to this, the press freedom has deteriorated. Due to this, the government is trying to create an us versus them situation, which reduces the space for open and robust media. Respected speaker, ma'am, considering the above evidence, is it off the beam for us to accuse the government that the media's freedom is going frail? I would like the respected minister to tackle my question.
Thank you, respected Madam Speaker. Addressing the respected opposition member, I would like to say that the media is considered to be the medium to provide the government's responses to the citizens. So the media should also ensure that the news reaching to the people should be appropriate and to the point. In response to the opposition member statement, the government has already set up a new index monitoring cell on World Press Freedom Day. It was told that the media in India enjoy absolute freedom and took a dig at the index starting that will expose sooner than later those surveys that tend to portray bad pictures about freedom of press in India. The government has so far advised the media to stop publications of any information that is not cleared by them. This is done not to stop the media from providing the news to the people, but to stop providing the false information. It is recommended that till the clearance of any investigation, the media shall refer to publish the official version of the development. Ma'am, we don't want a second pandemic to be caused due to the false information of the media in the country. The Goswami case forces us to confirm our own hypocrisies. It shows institutional rail guard are fragile. There are still scores of journalists who had been arrested by various governments on filmacy charges. As citizen media, as citizens and media, we must insist on the ruling of law being immaculately owned. The Maharashtra state machinery has to be made accountable for such abuse and evident vendetta. Thank you, respected Madam Speaker.
Well clarified. Thank you. Now it's time for the calling attention motion that combines the asking of a question for answer with supplementary and sharp comments with different points of view. Answers are expected to be expressed concisely and precisely, and it is an adequate opportunity to the ruling government to state its case. May we know the subject for the calling attention motion, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to draw the attention of the House to the India-China dispute. At present, India-China diplomatic relations are going through a very critical period. The two countries have also fought a war once in 1962 over the line of actual control dispute. Violent clashes between the two countries followed in 1965 and 1975. This is the fourth time that there is a tension upon the border between the two countries. The House would like to know what had happened on the night of 15th and 16th June in the Galwan Valley.
Prime Minister Alf, could you please clear her question?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, 20 Indian soldiers, at present, India and China diplomatic relationships are going through a very critical period. So, 20 Indian soldiers, including an Indian Army colonel, were killed in a clash at LAC in the Galwan Valley of Ladakh between the nights of June 15th and 16th. India claims that the Chinese army has also suffered casualties, but no official statement has been issued by China. China has not acknowledged any damage to its military. Since then, pre existing tensions between the two countries have exalted, with both accusing each other of aggression and violence.
The two nations have sought economic cooperation with each other, while frequent border disputes and economic nationalism in both the countries are a point of contention since 1950. Then, why did these violent clashes just happen? And when and how did they start?
According to the defense experts, the Indo Chinese border dispute began in the third week of April when the Ladakh's line of actual control saw an increase in the number of Chinese troops with large trucks roaming around the border. Since then, Chinese military activity on the border has been reported. In May 2020, there were also reports of Chinese troops patrolling the lake bordering Ladakh. India accuses China of unilaterally changing the border and laying claim on Galwan. The Galwan Valley has always been our part.
Many Indian soldiers lost their lives, but do we have the accurate number of them? And what's the compensation and relief provided to deceased family?
At least 20 Indian soldiers have been killed in violent clashes between Chinese and Indian troops. All these were 16 soldiers of Bihar regiment. At first, the first three soldiers were reported killed. But later, the Indian army issued a statement saying that 17 other soldiers who were seriously injured had also died. Talking about the families of the dead soldiers, they have been provided with 2 lakh rupees and also to those sustaining 60% and above disabled soldiers till now. After the defense minister's sanction, the families of the soldiers grievously injured and martyred in a battle will receive 8 lakhs from ABCWF Welfare Fund.
What effect will this tension have on the bilateral relations between the two countries? Can we completely ban Chinese products? Is it feasible?
A little difficult to answer directly. Talks are still going on between the two countries. The next few months will be crucial for both. We believe that in order to deal with the latest situation, the talk should be held at the political level and not at the military level. Now, this question cannot be answered in a simple yes or no. There are some harsh ground realities. As per the figures, India's import from China is 7 times higher than its export to China. If we Indians really boycott all Chinese products, it won't harm Chinese trade health much. Several Indian products are dependent upon raw materials that come from China. So, if we go for a blanket ban, we might hurt our own interest more than defeating the China in trade war. As we point out, there is no data yet that China is solely dependent on India for a large share of its trade revenue. Rather, China is also trying to find new markets for itself in other Asian countries and also in Africa.
After the ban of these services from China, what steps should be taken by India?
According to us, taking small but definite steps towards the goal is what India should do. According to a report by the Print, the Traders Organization said that the products of those 450 categories can be easily manufactured in India. From now on, as they do not require any complex technology, the traders has emphasized to boycott all Chinese applications. The Print reported. However, they also rooted for developing India's tech sector to avoid shortage of goods. Our experts suggest that India should focus on creating a pragmatic blueprint on Indian alternatives for banned Chinese products. Quantity, quality, cost issues should be given a prime importance here. A significant amount of resource allocation, investments, government support, and research and development are required for India to emerge as a self reliant economy. Simultaneously, skill development and development of technology will help India become confident in the world trade scene.
Then, how can the relationship between China and India be mended? Is there any update on how it is going to be resolved?
as we get to hear that there is a possibility of war which might impact the peace and economy in both the countries.
On June 17th, China claimed sovereignty in Galwan Valley, which India called as an arrogant and hollow claim. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhu Lijian said China has always had the sovereignty of Galwan Valley. Indian troops seriously violated the border protocol and the agreement reached at a commander level talks. He also said that China no longer wants conflict. On the other hand, our foreign ministry spokesman said that the foreign ministers of the two countries had spoken on the phone and agreed to the whole situation, that it would be handled responsibly. The Indian spokesman also said that the Chinese military had tried to carry out construction work on the Indian side of LAC. Diplomatic and military talks are currently underway between the two countries.
That's all, Madam Speaker. Hope the harmony, peace, and prosperity of our nation be cherished the way it had been. Thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Speaker.
Madam Speaker.
Dear gathering, do we have any significant matter to be discussed? Please let's begin.
Dear Madam Speaker, we had been planning for the amendment in the education policy. So here we come up with National Education Policy 2023. The new education policy aims to transform India into a vibrant knowledge society, making both school and college education more holistic, flexible, and multidisciplinary, suited to 21st century needs, and aims at bringing out the unique capabilities of each student. It is the first educational policy of 21st century that replaces the 34-year-old educational policy on education in 1986. It aims to achieve 100% gross enrollment ratio in school education by 2030. The new system of education policy will cover 4 stages. Foundational stage in 2 parts, that is 3 years of preschool plus 2 years in primary school in grades 1 and 2, both together covering ages 3 to 8. Preparatory stage, grades 3 to 5 covering ages 8 to 11. Middle stage, grades 6 to 8 covering ages 11 to 14. Secondary stage, grades 9 to 12 in 2 phases, that is 9 and 10 in the first, 11 and 12 in the second, covering ages 14 to 18. Students will have increased in flexibility and choice of subjects so that they can choose their own paths according to their passion. There will be no rigid separation between arts and sciences, between vocational and academic streams. The objective of NEP is to give equal emphasis on all subjects: science, social science, arts, languages, sports, mathematics, with integration and with integration of vocational and unacademic streams in school. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Rija. The bill is the National Education Policy Amendment Act. Since it is to transform India into a vibrant knowledge society, making both school and college education more holistic, flexible, and multidisciplinary, suited to the needs of the 21st century. Keeping in view the importance of education, the bill is to be discussed, debated, and voted upon. Those who are in favor will say aye. Those who are against will say no.
Aye.
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 I think the ayes have it, ayes have it, ayes have it. The motion is moved. May I now forward the same to our Honorable President for his consent?
Education is the most effective way for social justice, and hence the National Educational Policy calls for an investment of about 6% of the GDP by the central and the state. Since NEP emphasizes on strengthening of public educational institutions for a vibrant democratic society, the teachers will have a central and promising role in creating the comprehensive curriculum. So here I go with the new policy amendment, National Educational Policy 2023.
The Minister of Parliamentary Affairs, will now look into the implementation of the Act NEP 2023. And now the House is adjourned. Thank you.
Oh, well done, well done. That was an excellent job, children, by you all. Thank you so much. Can we all give a big round of applause for ourselves? Can I hear that?
Yes.
Well, it was very short, right? Thank you so much. Now, may I request our director, Mr. Srinivas Rao sir, to just address to share his thoughts with our children.
Yeah, thank you, madam. First of all, congratulations to all the children. It's very good, amazing session. I'm wondering, like you all have covered most of the important topics, like COVID-19 issues, women empowerment, financial problems after COVID-19, floods issue, rain effects on crops, and Indo-China conflict, most importantly, and also lastly, new education policy. Children, very good, well done. You all have covered mostly all the important topics, and you gained some knowledge on these topics also. Thank you very much. All the best to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sirisha ma'am, can you please share your thoughts or views?
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations, children. I can see a lot of improvement in your performance, and all the recent incidents or recent problems which we have faced, we have discussed, and we have approved the bill, new education policy 2023. And thank you, ma'am. Thank you, teachers, and thank you, principal, ma'am, for organizing such a wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now it's the turn of our beloved principal to please address.
Thank you, Rita. Good afternoon, one and all.
Good afternoon.
Congratulations,
Good afternoon,
my dear. Congratulations to all my dear youth parliament members. Today, you people rocked the session, and the future citizens and the future leaders you people are. Now you know the problems and you know the solution also. To get the good solution, you need to plan and you need to search for the good procedure and you need to get a good solution. All the best for all of you. As per our today's session new bill, as per RTE 2009 Act, every child should get the right education, good education. We hope that we will get that one. Thank you so much for this session. Thank you, Rita ma'am, and thank you, my dear coordinators, and all the children. God bless you. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I have had.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
We have had the student she shared her experience, it seems. So can we listen to her once? She just told me in the morning because children did not attend the schools for the entire academic. So since directors are there, so she just wanted to share her experience. Can she go ahead, ma'am?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Adira, you can, dear.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Greetings to respected director, sir, director, ma'am, principal, ma'am, teachers, and all the members of the parliament. This year had been rough, and in spite of the situation, I really thank our director, sir, and ma'am for giving us this opportunity like every year. For this session, to bring everything together was in the beginning a little difficult. But thank you, principal, ma'am, for supporting us, having our back, and correcting us. I am sure everyone here are thankful to our beloved Rita, ma'am. She is the person who has made this happen, who has supported us and solved issues with patience. Thank you very much, Rita ma'am. This year, it was very hard collaborating with all the participants and making this happen. Thank you very much to each and every one of them for supporting and cooperating with the instructions and making this a success. This is our last year, and with the pandemic, we missed many memories. But despite of that, our teachers made it possible for us to not miss any of that and made it possible to participate in many events virtually, giving us new sets of memories. Thank you very much to all our teachers. Thank you very much to all the dignitaries for giving me this opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Adira. Very good. Very good. So this pandemic is giving all of us new experiences. Similarly, you people are also, experiencing all these things. Like, if everything is normal, we would have physical youth parliament. But this is new experience to you also. Hope things will be better in soon. And all the best to you all people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.